Greetings. I'm Christopher Logan Hildt. For this is Fridays from the Hildt, and here's our usual Fridays players. Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys.
Alrighty, I am Jake Pendragon, and now because Christopher Logan Hildt insisted that I had a header, I am a Lenharrow QA tester.
Didn't insist. I just asked if you wanted one.
He insisted. He insisted.
Okay. Go ahead, Tiger.
Totally insisted. Don't let anybody
Totally
fool you. So I'm Tiger, co-creator of the Lenharrow system. I help review things too.
Cool.
Make the video go forward.
Make the video go forward. Okay.
Clear the empty space.
This week on From the Hildt, we had the Legend tribute that we talked about last Friday. That's a pretty good little video, little slideshow. We had G.I. Joe Takes, number 15. And that actually, we're going to be looking at the trailer from that right here in just a little bit, because I was going to start showing those on here for the month of G.I. Joe Goldbricks, like we have up there in the corner on your right. So after that, we're going to have Jake talk about what happened on Monday night.
Direction.
That would be the yes. That direction. That would be the Lenharrow After Action report for our Ravagers of Carnage.
Going the opposite direction.
All right, so I'm going to play this video, and you guys can comment on it if you like.
Comment on it if we like.
All right.
Let's do this. Oh, we better do the.
Oh, we're doing the. Oh, okay.
What's going down on Joe Takes?
Yes, it was fun to play with your little man. Pow. Trying to figure out how to stick stuff to him too. That was fun. Roll out. Bang.
I think you got hit in the face.
Yeah, I got hit. I left the blast effects on the floor.
Yeah, your physics are wonky. Your bullet is just lying on the ground with the blast damage.
Check to make sure he's alive.
Who designed this game engine?
Where am I? They went that way. Alright.
Yeah, there's a pile of stuff. Okay, so this week.
There was a fly on my forehead. That was mean.
This week, I added this one to it.
The barbecue. There's barbecue.
Barbecue.
I'm barbecue. Couldn't have had your eye. Did you say the Viper?
There's a barbecue. The Viper. The Viper is coming.
I figure since we were by ourselves right now, we should still watch.
I know, insists on taking all everybody's weapons. Well, at least it wasn't the hand-taking point. At least it wasn't all the backpacks. That'd have been silly.
I like how barbecue's got Dusty's hat on.
Yep, barbecue does
He's got his helmet goggles.
He's gonna need that. He has hat hair.
Oh, what's that?
Uh-oh, there's a creature. Ah, I got him.
That's what we call a bio viper.
Well, at least you found a use for that ugly monster.
Yeah, I finally did.
Uh-oh, another ugly monster. It's from D&D!
That'd be the hook corner from Don't D&D line. What's going to D&D? I thought I did pretty good on my own this week, guys.
Yeah.
So next week, everybody else will have this weekend for next week's video.
Strangle him. We're fighting monsters, guys.
Well, it is called Operation Dungeon Siege, right?
So you have to have dungeon monsters, huh?
Well, one, the Bio Viper's actually a Cobra thing.
Oh, he killed that one. He's dead.
Why are we just going to ask him the question twice?
He's dead.
He's
sitting on that one. Can't forget
right.
my hat. That's all important. Got to remember my hat.
So that's what's going down on Joe Takes this week. Now we're caught up. Each week I'm going to play the trailer here on Fridays just because it's fun to speculate and make fun of.
Make fun of my
actually-
photography.
Yeah.
Thank
Make
you.
fun of
No,
your
not just your photography, mine too.
heavy presentation.
You didn't take those pictures. Well, actually, you did.
I took the last bit. Yeah, you took
You
the
did
one
take those
before. Yeah, I like the whole silent comic aspect of it. It kind of that's a callback to the old G.I. Joe issue 21, where it was all just sound effects.
Well, you
No
could have
dialogue.
effects if you really wanted to.
Well, yeah, we could. We could add stuff to it, and I have had a few voices in the Operation Dungeon Siege series.
I think Max, didn't you
Oh,
have like a soundboard thingy or no?
Me soundboard? No,
Yeah, where you could push the buttons and different sounds came out of it.
I don't remember.
You used to. You put like meme things on there before.
Don't recall doing this, but okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so next week got the Joe Takes with Gung Ho and Barbecue's episode. Barbecue from the Hildt. That's going to be in the morning, actually. And then we'll have the Flight of Dragons tribute video. We're going to be looking at that. We're going to be playing it and pausing it and talking about it a bit here.
Yeah.
And then Monday night, we're doing episode 4, I think it is, of the Lenharrow Enhanced Edition series that we're doing. And we're talking a bit about, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember. We're going to be talking about something, Lenharrow Enhanced Edition. Whatever you guys want. We can talk about all sorts of stuff. I wanted to do more, I think, with the either the referee's guide or the encounters guide. Oh, you know what? Maybe we were going to be talking about the support characters, so you might want to definitely jump in on that one, Tiger. I think that's actually
support characters is like 90% Tiger.
We haven't even talked about that. Yeah, Tiger wrote most of that book. So, well, I did the writing, but she did a lot of the stuff. So Max, Jake,
yes.
So what's going on? What happened Monday night, man? You're after Lenharrow after action report.
Right.
Ravagers of Carnage, man.
Monday night in Ravagers of Carnage, we were continuing on our mission at, what was the name of the place? I forget.
Hilltel's Resort.
It was a resort with
Hill Peak.
All right. So at the Hilltel's Resort, we thought we were done in last session, but then some undead creatures and some witches came out of the woodworks, and we had to take those things on.
We actually used miniatures. It was really cool. It actually turned out really well.
I was about to say that.
I think we might be doing that whenever we do combat for.
I ran miniature.
Yes,
I love running
one
the
of the
minis.
witches.
I ran the game and Tiger ran the miniatures. It was really cool. What was that, Jake? I'm sorry.
I said he ran up and kicked one of the witches in the knee and broke
it. You did, and you fractured her knee. You didn't quite break it, but you fractured it. That's enough.
I did 35 points of damage. That is one sturdy knee if it just fractured.
And then Kate as Verdant actually got voted MVP because she kept spreading thorns all over the place, and one of the witches crawled into the thorns and actually
one-worders. Spouting one-worders, not one-liners, one-worders.
One-worders, yeah. I am Verdant. She's doing the whole group bit. It's kind of fun. So, is there anything else you guys wanted to add about that? Because we could just start talking about Flight of Dragons. Seems how we're kind of by ourselves.
Apparently, we have to find 8 other sleeper cells.
Yes.
Yeah, Doctor said that was only one of 9.
1 of 9, yes.
It's like, okay, and we're blocked out of leaving the city now.
Well, you're gonna find out why come session 3 in a couple weeks. So
cool.
That should be fun.
I'd be more enthused, but I'm running on 3 hours sleep.
This Sunday we got at our home game. We're doing Heroes of Haven's Run, so that we're finally going to get to that.
Yes, I get to play a fat innkeeper, Catman.
So that should be fun too.
Super fluffy, gray Catman.
Anything else you guys want to add before we start talking about Flight of Dragons?
No.
Because if we don't really have anybody show up tonight, then we'll just we'll talk about what we want to talk about, and then we'll end the stream early. But we might have a special guest, so we'll see how that works out.
It depends upon how. Yeah.
Here we go. Now, I did put some music to this, but
came from Louisiana with a banjo on my knee.
Yeah, I tried to get a better clip, but I couldn't.
Don't you cry for me? There comes Alabama with a banjo on my knee.
That's the only
I remember watching this as a kid.
The rest is just all pictures, so we'll pause it right here.
The four brothers were really cool,
and we'll go back just enough so we can see the brothers.
I absolutely love how they did the dragons in this movie. By far, one of the best depictions of dragons I've seen. Size is a little small, but that's okay.
You know, it was interesting the way they did dragons, but it's not how I would do.
It was
dragons.
Stylistic. It actually reminded me of like those old medieval tapestries come to life.
And also, it was realistic with how they depicted their flight. I mean, their wings look way too small to be used as actual flight.
I know. They turned them in kind of like into these balloons.
It was fun.
No, it was actually intelligent. It was a very intelligent idea for it.
I'm going to go to the next picture, then I'm going to go check something out. I'll be right back, guys.
Oh, my God.
You guys keep talking.
Omadon, the Red Wizard, ruler of the darkness, and tamer of Breog, the most evil of dragons.
Honestly, I don't understand what his end goal would have been. Like,
he wanted to rule the world.
He did want to rule the world,
but
his magic was waning too.
He just want to rule the world.
His magic was waning too. He must have realized that wasn't going to take it.
He was going to show man how to destroy themselves so that his magic can flourish. That's what his goal was.
I liked Omadon. He was pretty cool. He was voiced by James Earl Jones too. Fun. Same guy does Darth Vader. So you want me to go to the next pick?
Yeah, they almost made him look undead.
Almost, yeah.
He does. Like, he definitely looks different from his brothers, for sure.
And here we go, our stylized dragons. The ones that look like they come from tapestries.
They're cute. They're so cute.
You like them because they're fat.
Had to get a shot of the Flight of Dragons because, that's the name of the movie.
You got little clawsies.
They were stylistic, but they didn't just have European dragons. They had Asian dragons in there too.
Oh, they had a bunch of dragons.
Oriental dragons and Asian dragons.
You'll see different ones. Like I saw a couple with like 4 wings. There's that guy all the way down on the bottom there that looks like he's just one line.
I like how it was kind of in book, out of book. It was they were animating the book as it happened. That was kind of cool.
It was very meta.
Was based on an actual book. I never read the book though.
Yeah, that was called something else. I remember the title came up while we were watching the movie, but I can't remember it for the life of me now.
Yeah,
it was George and the Dragon or something like that, but I don't think that was it because that's something else.
Yeah, Flight of Dragons, very meta with that aspect. I haven't even written that book yet.
And the cover was kind of Gorbash, but kind of not.
This is my library of unfinished tales. I can read them right now.
My unwritten books. My library of unwritten books. I love the board game aspect too.
Dude, I would love to play this game. It looks kind of interesting.
It does.
Like
I'm not really sure what the goal is because they just got paths all over the place.
They got paths all over the place, and all of the wizards are players.
They seem to have had like spells and things, and they had all 4 brothers, the fairy princess, and then Gorbash, which was interesting.
I like how Harry Morgan did the voice. Harry Morgan was the colonel on in the last few seasons of MASH. Well, actually, it was probably in more of it than the original colonel, but he did the voice of the Green Wizard. And I love how he said, where he rolled double sixes, and he goes, 12, there's no beating that. That was kind of fun.
There's no beating that.
These dice actually, once they sat on them, took off like little rockets. It was kind of neat.
It's whimsical.
Whimsical, yes. Whimsical is a good word for it.
Well, they had to travel through time.
Yeah. Which was weird but cool. You're Schmurgle, the dragon.
Murgle.
Turn your head.
Yep.
Blowing fire on everyone.
Somebody wants
Murgle was
my viewers.
Gorbash's uncle.
Give me a second, guys. You keep chatting.
All right.
This is important.
Keep chatting on the
Honestly,
fact that
I loved Smeargle and Gorbash. Like the dragon characters.
I thought it was strange that they didn't light anything on fire exactly.
They were just igniting hydrogen, so
it was just like exhaust, kind of like a hot air balloon. That's what it reminds me of. You know that fire that they fire up in the hot air balloon?
Like they never were like, oh no, the dragon's fire, it hurts. The most it ever did was singe Peter's freaking.
Well, that's not true though, because when Breog was using his flame, he actually killed well, not killed him, but he burned Sir Orin Never Smiles. And then his sword got lit on fire. If you remember.
That was a pretty badass scene. I think the rule of cool is what made that hut scene happen.
Right? Because the fire only... Because didn't they light the fire in the woods too?
Oh my gosh.
But I remember when they were taking the dwarves to come out, none of them were on fire, the dwarves.
No, they were just not even singed even.
Well, one of them was smoking.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, though.
Is it weird? Does it look like his wings are bigger than in some scenes and smaller in others?
I know. It's like they were trying to make them realistically sized here, but it just makes them look comical in this particular still.
Well, they were using the wings as like rudders.
Yeah, they used them for steering exclusively. They weren't actually.
You notice the background looks like it's an ink painting?
It kind of does look like an ink painting. I'm actually thinking more watercolor.
No, I was thinking ink. You know, like the old Chinese ink paintings.
Maybe.
That's what it kind of looks like.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to do this when we can't move on to the next one.
Yeah. So,
So what do you think of Sir Peter?
Oh, Sir Peter.
You know, he kind of reminds me of you, honestly. Sir Peter does, like an adult you.
Oh, I am an adult.
No, a more adult you. A responsible adult you.
Who says I'm not responsible?
Except for the whole, because you're a man of science, kind of, but you also have one foot in fantasy, just like Sir Peter.
Yes, indeed.
That was one of the aspects I thought was interesting about it, but kind of at the same time, it annoyed me a little bit because they had to get all scientific about the dragons, and I just find dragons to be mystical. And it kind of took away.
I like how they scienced up dragons.
I did, but it also kind of took away the mystical nature and the mystery of it, which is all right.
Kind of the.
I think it more explained it better.
Yeah, in a way.
Oh,
good,
there's Sir Peter and his.
Yeah,
like,
that's why I fast forward the video.
Why did they take away his glasses for that? They could have given him medieval style glasses.
Maybe because he didn't want to scare the princess.
Why would glasses scare?
He wanted to look his best, and maybe he felt embarrassed by wearing glasses. Back then, people kind of did. You know, some people still do feel embarrassed by wearing glasses.
They
it
all
took me a while to get used
to him.
Oh, come on. You can't get any more embarrassing than only having one arm for your glasses.
Well, you know, we've tried to get you new glasses many times, sir.
I'm still in the
You need to make the appointment, sir. You just get the appointment and you tell me when it is, and we will take you.
Okay.
So we have Peter on the right.
We talked about Sir Peter already.
Yeah, I was. So the Green Wizard. What was his name again?
Carolinus.
Carolinus. Yes. Why can't I remember that?
I don't know. This is how I remember it. Carolinus.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let me move on.
Just watch the movie. That's why it's fresh in my mind. watch it a couple days.
Melisande.
Melisande. Such a weird name, Melisande.
She's a princess.
It rolls off the tongue.
She has a fancy name because she's a princess.
Yeah, but a princess from where?
And they never really explained what she was a princess of.
Her kingdom was fallen. Her mother and father were killed. They said they were killed by some monster.
I mean,
it was
implied that it was Carolinus in that one scene where she went crazy, but you're not really sure if she's spouting the truth when she says that or not.
Greetings, Cody. Welcome. We're talking about Flight of Dragons.
Well, like I said, there is a part where she said they explain that her mother and father were killed by some kind of monster. I don't remember the name of the monster because it was I think it had a name too, kind of like the ogre of Gormley Keep. It had a name.
Yeah, but still, when she went crazy with those weird sand hootie-what's-it creatures, she shouted very distinctly, "You killed my parents, you monster."
She was going insane. He didn't kill her, her parents. He rescued her and took care of her and raised her as his own. He thought of her as his own daughter.
Yeah, he did. It was more kind of a grandfather relationship, I think. But
I know, because it was like, father, and it's like, dude's gray, and you look like you're in your 20s.
Dude, he was thousands of years old. Don't you get it? He's a wizard.
Yeah,
he probably looked like that when he was born.
Let's go on to the next picture. I like Melisande enough.
Gorbash. Oh wait, that's
about Gorbash. It was gory.
It is Gorbash.
Get bashed up a bit. I like the way he got his name.
Yeah, Sir.
So
you don't get to hear much from Gorbash because Peter takes over his body.
No, it's like Gorbash was such an interesting character, like an innocent, naive, almost like a teenager, almost.
Well, he kind of was. He was taking up the mantle of Smeargle's mantle. He was going to be the wizard's mount. They trained him to be Carolinus's dragon.
House dragon is what he called himself.
Yeah, well, all the brothers have dragons.
Melisande called him their house dragon. That's right.
Because he lived in their house, and
she also called him brother.
Well, he kept saying, she did. Well, they were kind of raised together. He kept saying that he wanted a cave of his own, though, because his hoard was getting so big.
Yeah.
It's like, I want a cave of my own.
Well, he was getting old enough, so he was going out of adolescence into adulthood.
I think I gave him quite a few pictures to check out. So more than 40.
Oh, yes, the milk.
The milk.
Oh, no, tea makes evil.
Bovinus Muis. That's how he changed it. Bovinus Muis. Change the cider into milk.
He's like, cider makes evil magic in my stomach. And he's like, Peter's like, no, that's not evil magic. That's stomach ulcers. Drink milk.
But then they went ahead and drank the cider.
It's very interesting colored cider, just so you know. Cider is usually like a golden color.
It's because it's not cider. They were just calling it cider.
It was wine. Oh.
It was wine.
Wine not. Plucka, 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 plucka.
Well, they sure didn't have a problem calling it wine later, so maybe it was just a cider with a little bit of coloration. Who knows?
It's magic cider.
Magic cider. I did like his library, though, especially his unwritten books. That was cool.
Who wouldn't like the library of unwritten books?
We'll move on to the next one. There we go. I found a lot of pictures of the two of them together. I guess that was the heart of the story, to be honest. But
one part that I found exceptionally interesting was when Peter said we kiss when he was Gorbash. When did they kiss before that?
Okay, I personally remember a scene where they do kiss.
I know.
I think it was a deleted scene.
In the televised version.
I
watched it on TV. I remember them kissing on a log.
Like the version I watched, they never kissed, and it was just like brother.
It also might be just our memories playing tricks on us, wanting them to have kissed. I don't know.
I
But
don't remember it.
Otherwise, though, it's just like we kissed. When?
Do they have deleted scenes on our video? I didn't even think to look.
No, I don't think. No, they didn't. It's too bad Elfbay's not here. He's full of movie trivia.
Right? He might know, huh?
He might. All right, let's see if we can get something other than these two. There we go. Schmergle.
Schmergle again.
I like this old dragon. He was cool.
Honestly, I loved that he just went completely like hands-on for freaking teaching Peter how to be a dragon. But at the same time, it was kind of like reluctant. It was just like,
well, he had to because, you know,
the quest.
It's his job as an older dragon to teach the younger ones how to be.
This is true.
He had to teach Gorbash twice.
That's kind of how they showed the Flight of Dragons, like they were a community. Then they took care of each other.
Well, it was kind of sad too when the other ones attacked him, but he knew they were enchanted, so he didn't even blame them.
Yeah,
I know. He like didn't even hold any malice against him. It's just like they were enchanted.
What is this?
Oh. Working on miniatures.
Always good to see you guys. Yeah. Oh, cool. I loved your video about miniatures just yesterday. That was fun. I had a good time watching that. I didn't have the same amount of fun watching Gaming with ADHD's video because I'm not really into Shadowrun. But it's not that I had a bad video going on. It's just I had to bow out of that one. And there he is. I just started talking bad about him, and there he is.
We let you on the internet.
Hello, Gunter. I've been on the internet for a little while, almost 4 months now. No, I was saying I wasn't really into Shadowrun that much, so I didn't stick around that long for your video last night on Gaming with ADHD, but that's all right. Shadowrun, okay, Cody's saying Shadowrun is one of my favorite settings. Jesus, they never get the rules right. I don't know. They seem to have it locked down pretty solid. Those guys were, the game designers were pretty knowledgeable about what they were talking about last night. I told you about summoning evil spirits. Well, welcome to the show, and we're talking Flight of Dragons. We'll move on to the next picture right now because I think we should talk about Schmergle enough.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, this is the scene where Peter first awakens as Gorbash.
Right. I tried to put him in order as best I could.
Dude, wouldn't that be weird if you think about it? He woke up and like the first thing he sees is a miniature version of Carolinus and Melisande.
Well, he saw Melisande tiny before, not Melisande, Carolinus tiny before, so it wasn't too off-putting.
But then he raises up his head, so he knew he was like above him. But then he's like, "What the?" And then he tried to figure out how his wings work. He was like moving his wings and stuff.
Yeah, he's just like, "What is this?"
I did like how Omadon laughed when he was watching him instead of Dragon, who does not know how to be a dragon. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, he was hoping that he was dead, but this was much more fun for him.
Yeah. Intriguing, as it were.
All right, let's see what I got next here. Like I said, I have about 20 pictures.
Oh my gosh, this was near the way end of the movie, dude.
Yeah, I know, but I'm glad I put it here because I was able to use this as a thumbnail.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a good snapshot, but still.
For the trailer,
this was an interesting part though because he was casting a spell on them, and he had to have the miniatures. I mean, he was even telling Breog how minutely detailed these miniatures were, so that he could cast a spell on them.
Which is funny because GM Cody's video was all about miniatures yesterday, and we're talking about a movie where we're talking about making miniatures. It was kind of cool.
Though,
right? So like was he like doing this on his own? Was he going like painting his own miniatures, or did he hire someone to make them?
I think he had created them with magic.
Walls.
I honestly think he made them with magic.
Oh, well, that's true.
I do have to wonder, like, how come Peter wasn't affected? Was it because that's Gorbash's body and not Peter himself is why.
Yeah, Peter's mind was only in there, and the Blue Wizard said the spell was going to affect him soon. He was protected because his body wasn't there, and if you notice, he doesn't have a miniature there either.
Well, because technically he's in Gorbash,
so he couldn't. Yeah,
okay, so like Carolina said, no fair peeking at the end.
No fair peeking at the end.
It's Fight of Dragons there, Brian. Goldbricks is his name is Brian, so I'm outing you. My friend.
Such a good evil dragon design. It's just so nice.
Briarg. The name just it screams terrifying dragon. It really does.
Dude, he was eating a whole clutch of eggs, like dragon eggs. Like, why?
Like
he was a cannibal,
yeah, very cannibalistic. It was just like, what the? No.
Why?
Evil.
If you haven't seen Fight of Dragons, you guys, it's definitely worth a watch.
I think Cody said he saw it a long time ago. You know, some of them were about to hatch too, so he was actually eating baby dragons.
Goldbricks says he's never even heard of it.
Oh, you should look it up. It's actually pretty cool. I saw this when I was a kid. This movie, I mean, this cartoon was what changed. I used to love dinosaurs when I was little. When I watched this movie, my fascination for dinosaurs changed to dragons. And then after that, it was just dragons and everything. I love dragons.
In the mid-'80s, the ABC had a series on Saturday evenings where they would air some kind of animated or fantasy movie. And it was in that series. And then when it first aired, it aired in that. I think it aired like the week after, like Last Unicorn.
Yeah, I was going to say, wasn't Last Unicorn in the same...
it was in the same series, but Last Unicorn actually went to the theaters.
No, I know, but wasn't it animated by the same people, though?
Unicorn one of these weeks.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the same people. They had all different production companies.
They had a very similar style, though.
Yes.
I always thought they were the same company, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure Last Unicorn was Rankin and Bass, yeah.
So is this one.
Fight of Dragons is Rankin and Bass, too, though.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. That's what I thought.
I have the movie right here, so I'll take a look.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm telling you, it's the same.
It says Warner Brothers. No, it does. It is Rankin and Bass. So maybe it was a series of Rankin and Bass stuff. So let me put this up real quick so everybody can see Flight of Dragons. It's kind of got a goofy cover.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
But
it's like that's not even what it looks like.
This is available. I picked one up on Amazon. So well, that's actually my brother's old copy, but because I got mine on DVD and he got his on Blu-ray.
Yeah, he just had to one up you. Just be like, I got the Blu-ray.
No, he was trying to get everything on Blu-ray.
Well, everything looks better on Blu-ray.
It does. So yeah, this was a Rankin and Bass too.
Pirates.
So yeah, maybe they were just doing a series of Rankin and Bass films, but it was like once a month. It was kind of like their Saturday afternoon specials. They did a lot of neat stuff back in the 80s that they just don't do anymore. I don't know why.
I remember when Last Unicorn came on DVD, I was super excited because I thought they would put out this one, but they never did. Well, they did later.
Yeah, it was way later. It was on video for years.
I love the party that they put together.
Oh, yeah.
An adventuring party right here.
Had 2 dragons, a wolf. Well, they called the halfling an elf, but it was a halfling. And the ranger chick, I really like her. And then Sir Orin never smiled, but yet in this
Orin never smiles.
In this movie, Goldbricks, the green dragon actually had a human in his head, trapped inside of him, and he was the dragon himself was actually asleep through most of the movie.
Yeah, it was a miscast spell.
It was kind of neat. Undo it. I can't undo it until I found out what I've done. He never actually found out what he did, though.
Nope.
He merged them. He knew that.
He knew he merged them, but he didn't know how. So I love the way Rankin and Bass animated backgrounds and stuff. And
they look like paintings. Well, like I said, they look like their tapestries or paintings come to life.
You could tell that they didn't have as big a budget for this as they did Last Unicorn, but they still did a good job. Very similar to The Hobbit and Return of the King when they did their versions of that. So let's see if we can move on to the next one. Sir Orin Neville Smythe.
What is this? A cell or
sleep? I have heard of this. Are we that boring? Are we that boring, Gerbrecht? We're just sitting here chatting about old movies and stuff. We already did our.
I was just wondering if this was fan art or an actual cell from the movie.
Yeah, we do our game stuff.
Like when he went to Omidon's land when he was meeting Gorbash. I think that's.
I don't know. He's got a trident on the side of his horse.
His polearm was awesome, and I can't remember the name of that, but I can look it up.
It's a trident.
I don't remember that trident.
I don't believe he ever used it.
Yeah, he did. He attacked Briog with it.
Oh, that was in the past. Wait, yeah, it is in the past.
Yeah, I was telling you. This was part of the flashback when he went to Omidon's land.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
He was a lot younger. He doesn't have that gray streak in his hair.
I like the gray streaks in his hair. It's really nice.
I
know it shows. Well, I like how they did show him in the past, how he did a heroic act in the past, and that's how he saved
Gorbash.
That's how he saved Gorbash. And I love baby Gorbash. He balks like a little chicken. Burk, burk, burk. So adorable. And he's so little tiny thing. And then he gave Melisande, the princess, the baby dragon.
That might have been a unique polearm because I looked up some images of polearms just quick and I didn't see any, but that's just a quick look.
It's a type of trident. It's probably a mystical trident.
Gerbrecht says the Rankin Bass Hobbit was a regular for me growing up. It would broadcast locally on Thanksgiving every year. That's cool. I used to watch it a lot. He says he works nights too. He never sleeps, right? I don't either, man. I sleep when I get the chance. Whatever the fit strikes me.
I sleep when I feel like it, like a proper tiger.
I need to fix my sleep schedule. It's not good for a Dirg to sit there and be up all night.
I love the wolf.
I forget his name.
Alec or
Arok.
Arok.
I want to say Briarg for everything because Briarg's such a cool dragon.
Yeah.
What made that character really funny is he was never explained. He was never really given an explanation for Peter being in Gorbash. He just thought it was Gorbash the whole movie.
He kind of did.
True. That's kind of true.
Like at the end, when Gorbash was awake again, he was just like, "I thought you were dead," and he's just like,
"Where have you been?
Weren't you with us?"
Yeah, the look of confusion on the wolf's face when he said that was awesome. It was priceless.
Right, because he's like. So yeah, they didn't really explain to him that Gorbash was Sir Peter. So he just took it as, oh, okay, so Gorbash wants to go by Sir Peter now. That's cool.
I love the fact that they had the wolf in the party as a member of the party and not just like a sidekick.
That one and done sort of.
He was his own character throughout the whole movie.
Well, he saved them from the Sandmerks. What a terrifying creature that little.
Oh my gosh, that is a terrifying creature. Those frigging Sandmerks.
Well, our special guest is home. I'm going to ask him if he's going to join us. You guys can go ahead and keep talking about Arok.
Okay, fine. Anyways, the Sandmerks remind me of what are those little grasshopper bugs that make noise?
Cicadas?
No, not cicadas. The ones that destroy fields when they go into a frenzy. Locusts. Yeah, the Sandmerks reminded me of locusts.
Bugs. They were like these little lizard creatures.
Yeah, I know you don't remember, but when you were little, the locusts got really bad in California. Like they actually had locust warnings that they thought that they were going to swarm and start, eating the crops out. Yeah, because they were everywhere. And everyone's all, oh, they're just grasshoppers. I'm like, those are not grasshoppers, guys. Those are locusts. That's what they're talking about. They had them everywhere. I mean, you can even walk into a parking lot without dead locusts all over the place.
Oh, my gosh. But anyway.
So, yeah, that's why the Sandmerks kind of scare me, because when that happened, you can hear the sound coming from the locusts. And apparently, when too many locusts get together, they actually go insane from their own sounds.
Oh my gosh, friggin'. But yeah, the whole Sandmark scene was just so terrifying. Like, even Melisande, who is just looking in miles away using some sort of Deus Ex Machina magic.
Well, yeah, she used her vision. Oh,
She
yeah,
used
I
her
remember
vision.
her. I liked
yes,
her.
the Ranger chick.
Danielle, I think it was her name.
I think so.
And then this is their version of an elf. They called him an elf.
It's more like a halfling gnome combination.
Well, no, if you compare this elf to the dwarves, which were like maybe this big.
I know. It was just like little tiny people.
I mean, I guess we should give a comparison because they were this big to the dragon's head, though. So I don't know.
They were about that big. Maybe.
I think. Yeah, I was gonna say they might have actually been about the same size as this elf.
Right.
But this is just how Rankin and Bass made elves.
They were just really short people.
Yeah. Well, they had big ears on these ones. I know that the Rankin and Bass elves look different on like the Hobbit and stuff.
Oh my gosh, they almost looked evil in the Hobbit.
Well, it depends upon which elves you were talking about, because remember there was 2 different kinds of elves.
Yeah, the Rivendell elves and the Lothlorien elves.
Yeah, the Lothlorien elves almost look like goblins. They're with their little skinny bodies.
They look evil.
I really like Danielle. She was a nice addition to the party late in the movie, though.
Yeah, but I think it was a really great thing, especially for Sora Never Smiles.
It kind of makes me want to read the book to see if they had more parts in it.
Yeah,
maybe, but like he was totally smitten with her when the second he saw her. Like, you know, she had her hair up, but then she tipped her hat, and all this hair came out, and he was just like,
he was just like, oh, this is no man. I look upon a woman.
What can I say?
This is no man. I look upon a woman.
Well, you gotta know though, she was around elves, so she was bigger than everyone. So you couldn't tell size.
At least she's an adult.
All right. Close up of Giles. I like Giles.
Same one.
It's the same image.
It is.
Hanging from a tree.
I didn't notice it was the same image till after I put him in the video. I'm like, oh man, that's the same image. But I just like that too. It was still. It's nice to see him close up a little bit.
Giles had like the least representation in the movie.
He did, but he played a pivotal part.
He did. They do show some of the other elves, and some of them had beards like dwarves even. So I wonder if they had were a mix of them or something. Oh, this was after the inn was
oh my god,
torched.
Did we
do this?
No, don't admit
nothing. Don't
I like how that scene was just played so casually, where it's just like Peter was a little concerned, and then Smeargle's like, don't admit to anything, and they're just like, okay.
Well, they did drink all the alcohol in the basement, so they were quite drunk, and being dragons as they were.
Yeah.
I just like they woke up with like rubble on them, and they're like, wait, what's going on? Did we do this? Nope. Nobody did anything.
Okay, our special guest is here, so we're gonna give him a minute here. So I'm gonna switch to this, and we'll get back to the video and keep talking about Flight of Dragons here. But so we are welcoming. Well,
you went mute.
There we go. Yes, we're welcoming Jay Terrell to the show. He is one of the members of Nevastopus, and he's also my nephew Jason. But let's see if we can get you on
there we go.
A little bit better there.
The wrong way.
That's all right.
Yes, he makes our wonderful music.
Yeah, you do. I generally am not into that kind of hip hop and stuff like that, but your stuff is cool. I actually have some that I was going to put up so we could talk a bit about it. Sure. This is the one I actually used for what we were gonna have as the theme song to the show. It's called Rise Above.
He's nodding
I
like, yeah,
gotta
that's
get the
good.
mood a little bit better while you're here. We wanted Jay Charles to come on so he could talk about his music. We use it all the time. He's giving us permission to use all his stuff. It's kind of a sample. I mean, a lot of what he's given us is beats, which is perfect. Like when we showed our the G.I. Joe trailers earlier for the Joe tape.
You've been using the beats for the the Joe takes.
Right. So that's kind of his stuff. We can play some more later if you guys want, but I thought I'd give him a minute to talk about Nevastopus a little bit and let us know what he's going to be doing in the future.
Sure. So actually, Nevastopus is kind of like an older project that I did with a friend that I grew up with. But lately, like these days, I'm going to be working on some more like solo stuff. Going to have a little bit more features with more local artists in the Utah, Salt Lake area. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, and that's kind of coming along. I got a couple tracks that I did with a guy named Boone the Third out here that he wants to release on his stuff, and I'm like, okay, I understand. They're fire, so I get it. No worries. But there's some other stuff I've been writing to and getting beats for all set up, and yeah, I do producing and engineering and vocals and all that shit too. So
well, like I said, we use a lot of your stuff. I want to put one more, and I'll play a bit more of it so we can. I really like this song right here that you guys did, "Hard Times."
Yeah, man. Things ain't always easy. Hard times tonight, but I still not losing sleep over. Hard times we fight. I'm in the back of the tunnel, but I see the light. Hard times tonight, but I keep on thinking how to get it just right. Hard times we fight. I'm in the back of the tunnel, but I see the light. Hard times. When you know you really stressed, when you're judged by how you dress. So I speak out from my chest, felt the way they make me stress. So it's time that I invest to my never-ending quest, to filling all requests, to maybe make a change in these streets that we live in. My world is full of sin, so I ask that they forgive it. I'm living in the fast lane, so you could say I'm driven. This game is sink or what? That's why you see me swimming. As far as all the women trying to get in where they fit in, they better grab their shovel while they...
I do like that one.
that's all, Chris. Mine is all crazy at the back end of that song. My verse.
Well, I've got a few more on here if you want to play one that's yours. I liked, like I said, I played that.
On that one. It's just my verse comes second, so it's like
This one may have a little bit of explicit lyrics, so just as a warning for Breck.
We're gonna take our video down again, Dad.
I've heard people say worse, and we're not getting monetized.
With the visuals and putting guns in your mouth. Quick to run up in your house when I'm pulling the lick, slick hits and dark fits when I'm out for my shit. Nightmares. I'm the worst you've ever seen. Quick to roll up.
See, I'm not as familiar with his new stuff as I am his older.
Yeah, I like a lot of his older stuff a lot better. I like this stuff too, but I don't have any of it on here because
we have a few different directions that we used to go in. So all that kind of started with a gunshot.
Yeah.
So we were sort of like going towards more of a peaceful, sort of neutral type of approach and dealing with that whole scenario and
rescuing
side of music business. We kind of got a little bit more cynical as the years got on because people are.
Right, I felt like your older stuff was more uplifting.
It was, yeah, and now that's kind of where I've gone back to is more of a spiritual vibe with it. There's a lot more like I'm going, more into that, like the tarot theme, right? It's more of the hero's journey is what that all has to do with, and so anybody can sit down and actually, relate to any part of that, right? That's what tarot's for, because no matter what you're going through, there's always a piece of that story that fits in with your life, or even several, right? So. Yeah, that's kind of what my new whole.
Well, of your monikers, Jay Terrell's the one I kind of like the most. That's the one I've been using a lot on all the when I give you credit for music on all the videos.
Right. Yeah, I like that one too. So
anyway, we're just chilling, talking about Flight of Dragons. So
love that movie.
We'll get back. We'll get back to that. I think we lost somebody because we started talking about other things, but that's okay. Well, but you've seen Flight of Dragons, so
Sure have, yeah.
this is right after they woke up and the inn was destroyed. So
Right.
we'll move on to the next clip. You can hang out and do what you take off. You want.
Yep, here's where they were asleep drunk.
Oh yeah, I had that clip at the beginning where they were all just singing around. Pucka, 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 pucka. It was really dark though, so there's no point showing it again. But yeah,
Yeah, it did come out really dark.
this is kind of from the same scene where they were just hanging out there.
It's hard to see the scene when you have us underneath it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was supposed to. This way looks better. This
Yeah,
way.
Yeah,
that
that
looks
way.
much better.
Now I can see it.
That's when the Flight of Dragons showed up.
Oh
To
no!
attack them, yeah.
It's a flight of dragons.
They had killed this acid worm.
It's the worm of Sligoth, yes, or Sligoth.
Nasty,
really
this nasty
cool.
worm.
It was really cool how Peter just sat there and went, "Wait a minute. Given the materials of this acid, it's sulfur based. I can just light the thing on fire."
Yeah, after we're done, if you want, we can keep chatting some more about
That's fine.
stuff. Whatever.
I've
Whatever.
sworn about it anyway, but
We're just like you said. We're just hanging out and
right.
chatting about things we like.
Who
So,
doesn't like Flight of Dragons?
well,
Love Flight of Dragons.
some of our viewers haven't even seen it. So, really? Well, they're
Right?
yes, I agree that they're for. This is that scene.
And this is in
Where-
the past. With the
where
oh,
he-
there he is. Yeah, he's got that. He's got the trident in his hand
He
right
did
there.
attack him with the trident in the flashback and in this scene near the end.
Right.
Really?
Yes,
That's
sir.
not near the end. I thought that was the
Not even using his
flashback.
sword.
I'm pretty sure that was a flashback, right?
No, he knew that the end was near for him, and so he knew what he had to do to take down Briarg. It was awesome. So Aura Neville Smythe is your unsung hero. He really is, right?
Well, he does follow the rules of chivalry and all.
True.
He's a paladin.
Nope.
I love that
Definitely
He's
is
a
a
paladin
paladin.
through and through.
Him and the Ranger chick.
That guy.
This
guy
scene,
with the flaming sword.
Yes,
That is
the
the dragon
dopest
actually
shit.
breathed on him, breathed fire all over him, and he just took it because he knew the end was near,
Yep.
and the sword was all on fire, and he just chucked
Chucked
it right
it,
into the
yeah.
heart of the dragon. It was
Dude, I like to think
it was
that,
all a dragon player, man. It really
Absolutely.
was.
He literally made his intent
No, I know, but I like to
absolutely
think
clear,
that the wolf.
focused.
If you watch the scene, the wolf jumped on his chest earlier, so he probably
Yeah.
like made it so it was open.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The wolf. They
He was
all.
already wounded.
They all were a part of that. It took the
Yeah.
party to take down Briarg because he
Well,
was.
except for the poor elf who just got knocked to the side, just like nothing.
If I die, I want to die a dragon kill.
Well, he tried though, and it was a distraction.
He did try. He did try, but he had the best credit with the Flight of Dragons, as it were. So
True.
Yeah, he's the one that put the dragons to sleep. Just play a tune.
Well,
Yeah.
because he was
I like
the
how
only
he
one
did
who could
that
play.
without question. Like everyone was skeptical about Sir Peter saying these things, and all of a sudden he's just like the most weird and outlandish one. Play a tune, elf. And he
Right?
just no question.
and they're like, "What? Do we have time for this?"
It was an epic finale for a movie.
Oh
and
my
then
god.
this,
Oh
man.
my god.
Turns into
Hydra.
Death
Everyone was dead, and then Peter figured out how to get out of the dragon and stood up and faced this guy, man.
Well, he
Open
cast
on
an evil
with-
spell on himself.
With the voice of James Earl Jones was just incredible.
Oh my gosh.
It was
And
like he
this
was
Hydra.
becoming Brayog, but like with more heads.
There's
The
a
Amadon Hydra is like
that fool is like chanting.
disgusting, but
Yeah.
cool at the same time.
Yeah.
He's just
He's
going
gripping
off.
the ground and
He's
chanting and
He's like, he made the best dark wizard ever.
Yes, he
Anything
did.
I've ever seen.
Yes,
just,
he did.
Yeah, just from that.
I
part
just
alone.
love the roast Peter did, where it's like he's sitting there going, "I will take the sun if I can." Really, 8 brains and not a single one. And
Not a single one
You
of
can't grab the sun. Why not? Because it's not really there.
it was
In
there
fact,
8 minutes
grabbing
ago.
it would have been 7.9 minutes ago. Yeah, he goes off on that.
So super logic, and it's just like, wow.
but we don't want to spoil the ending, so we'll move it on because correct. I know you're going to enjoy this movie if you like the blanket and fast stuff. So that's kind of what we got there, and the music was "Salute" in the video by Jay Taro with "Nevastopus." So there we go. we covered Flight of Dragons, what we have, but we can still keep chatting about it. And
Great
You didn't put some of the monsters in.
Right up there.
You know, like I said, I grabbed as many as I could find. I pulled everything I could off the internet, and I couldn't find my copy of the DVD because I think it's in our storage unit.
Oh.
But if I can't pull things off the Blu-ray on my computer, but I can off DVDs.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I didn't have the opportunity to grab anything off the
computers are
DVD.
still stuck in the Stone Age. They're only DVD players.
Yeah, I was able to pull all those pictures from Robin of Sherwood right off the DVD. So
That's cool. So, like, they had a giant ogre with 3 eyes, but one of them was had a eye patch over it.
So that would have been an interesting story. Like, how did that happen?
And I couldn't find any pictures of the Sandmarks, which was that was one of the most.
They look like giant rodents. Yeah, we talked about the Sandmarks, how terrifying they were.
Oh my gosh, they were so.
Have a good night, Goldbricks. We appreciate you hanging out with us for a bit. He's probably already gone.
Probably. That's been on there for a little bit.
But we like to acknowledge when people show up and listen. I think we only got Cody in the chat still, but or someone else, because we had a couple other people show up while we were sitting here. Some nights we get more viewers, and others, we actually get more views in the
after.
Right.
Yeah,
after the replay.
It's been really interesting seeing those statistics.
But it's nice when some of my online buddies show up to check us out.
Sure. Yeah.
GM Cody has been a real devout follower of the show, and I like his show too. He's got a lot of good stuff. Like he was talking about miniatures last night.
You say devout like we're a religious organization.
That's not what I meant.
Devout.
We are devout.
We're devoted.
Worship the G.I. Joe gamer.
G.I. Joe gamer. Oh.
That works.
All hail the G.I. Joe gamer.
It was
Hallowed be thy name.
It was Elfbait who gave me that moniker, the G.I. Joe gamer. So I blame him.
I don't like it. It sums you up really good because
it does.
You know so much about G.I. Joe, it's not even funny. And I am constantly surrounded by little men. Little men everywhere.
Right, and once I get it all set up, I actually do want to do a tour.
There's walls and shelves and
our game room, and,
all full of little men.
So that should be fun. But we don't have the studio set up properly yet. We're still here.
Mom is surrounded by
That's
little men.
why my corner is empty. There's nothing in my corner.
She's still surrounded by little men.
We're gonna get you a bookcase in there.
I already got a table. I already told you a little table.
Yeah,
I ordered it.
That's a start, I guess.
And I wouldn't mind getting like maybe some tiger posters in this corner. That'd be nice.
So cool.
We do have some movie posters out here that can go in there still too.
But they're not tiger posters.
We got a couple of the Dungeons and Dragons movie posters and.
Well, no, I know. I put some posters up already, but they're not.
The cover of the LPDs up there that we can't even see on camera.
Like a Chamel poster would be cool with the tigers in space.
Well, you know what? I think we're good tonight. We got some stuff to do, but I appreciate everybody watching us. And
well, we didn't. Wait, that was only. Is that an hour?
Yeah, we're coming up right on the hour.
It is 58:36.
That's generally where we kind of break it if we don't have a lot of crosstalk going on in the chat, but. Tonight's been kind of cash, and we enjoyed watching Flight of Dragons the other night. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, man, Flight of Dragons.
You know, it'd be interesting to do on our Lenharrow thing is maybe do an RDG at one time.
Oh, we could. Yeah, a random generator.
Ooh, yes, the expansion of
our system is set up for it. So.
I can set up the table and we can roll it up, and I can just draw it on the.
I'm not a fan of the refless game or no GM game, but it does work if you're bored. So, does anybody have any final thoughts before we end the broadcast tonight?
Well, we could do one of the solo adventures sometime. That'd be
we could.
Yes.
We have Low-Air Solo Adventures, our book that we put out.
So that might be something that might be interesting to do too.
Color Pass, Dad. Didn't you revamp Color Pass?
I did revamp Color Pass and the other one. the Gauntlet. So those are both in Low Air Solo Adventures.
Oh,
Anyway, did you have anything else you wanted to add, Jay?
No, it's Friday night, so
Tiger?
I got places to be.
Of course.
I am fine. Thank you very much for asking.
Jake? Anything to add?
Hello,
I guess not.
Jake.
Okay, so stock a pose as I end the broadcast.
the